A request to join. Request to join. A request to join. Request to join. Can you hear me? Hey, it says it's adding you. Man, there you go. Bro, the police contacted me about the General Motors thing, bro.
What they're talking about?
Bro, they were talking about, look, just like, the tension and whatnot. And, that I'm not, I'm gonna say I'm gonna say they were reasonable during the call, I'm not gonna force nothing. It was mad reasonable. Like,
Yeah.
they did say if I needed, like, that immediate medical care for the psychiatric, they could send an officer to Parkview. But the reason why I declined it is because, like, as I told you, I just landed that good job, and I want to get us all in it,
Yeah.
So I don't want to end up in Parkview and be stuck there. Then I missed the job, which is really what all the, keep it real, all the street shit, right? Was
Yeah.
it not a result of the workforce was ridiculous when we tried to enter it?
Yeah,
Like,
that is true.
remember, I was like the only one who could be employed. And my dude, you remember Austin,
Yep.
the sheriff?
Yeah. Yep. He ended up being a construction worker.
Yup. And then you got the construction worker. He's dead now, right?
Yeah, I heard he overdosed on alcohol.
And pills.
Damn.
See, the thing, it's like, bro. So
The workforce was always bullshit in the first place. I mean, they were paying what? How many jobs were paying $8 an hour on a consistent basis?
I was the security guard. I was only getting paid $9 an hour at most of those sites, 11 tops. And I was thinking, like, I gotta risk my life for these people. So the streets, we inherited that from being raised in that area, inherited the beef and all that. But then when it came to trying to get money, it seemed like the job force was horrible. Like,
It
any
always was.
jobs on our side of town for real. But like back then, even there's probably more now than there was then. And now there's like not shit, like low
It
rent.
always it looked like that in every area when it's a lot of black people. There are no jobs in the area. You always got to travel outside of your area, and then you ain't got no ride to work, so you really can't get the job.
Remember, dude, I was giving everybody rides.
Yeah. People thought you was a taxi half the time.
Yeah. And done struggled through all this mess of being black. For them to fire me, bro, until I went and talked to a black, they didn't know we need that money for real. Like we need it. It's like the emotional disturbance, the psychiatric disturbance, the losing all the good spot. I was living in the suburbs. Come on,
It's reparations, man.
bro. Yeah, they need that. We need that. Period. Like we need it. They deserve to lose, like, I swear, 300 billion, because this was such a freak thing for of all people. You know what I'm saying?
I'm still stuck on the whole you get fired for being a racist white man to now become an angry black man. That's a hell of a phrase.
hmm
That's a
Dude,
hell of a way to put it.
do they know how desperate we were for the American dream?
Bruh, it's still just a dream.
It is still just a dream, but now it's, bro, because the VA gave me the number for free legal representation for veterans. And I'm using that because I did this. Remember, I was in the Army for 6 years. I
Mm-hmm.
that whole thing. I ain't get in trouble. None of that. Honorable discharge.
So you
Dude,
should be getting like, you should get like first dibs on everything.
man, we'll see. But I know one thing is that because now, since the police contacted me, I see that them people, they know what they did. They know what they did. They knew that. They know what they did. And instead of just admitting what they did wrong, you see what I'm saying? They're going through all these hoops and hurdles, do everything else. I don't care how long it takes, none of that. None of that. I will keep getting lawyers and sending them to court. I don't know if I gotta buy a suit and protest or what, but our community needs that. Period.
Yeah,
Because you already know what I'm gonna do. The same thing I've always been trying to do. Feed everybody.
yeah.
That we gotta eat.
Like in effect, I seen that one of those cases you had sent. I know it's like that's a white guy. I'm like, is this gonna work the same for a black man?
With the lawsuit,
Yeah.
I wonder that it is, listen, like what I was telling you with the new job, and you were like, these are probably neighborhoods where black people aren't welcome. Nobody can legally discriminate against you due to your skin color. They cannot do that. You see what I'm saying? That shouldn't exist in 2021. You know, it shouldn't exist at all. And they done fired the least racist person they could have possibly done that to. You know, I, I would show the interior of this motherfucker, so just so people can see how black it is. But I don't want to expose nothing because you know we always gotta be worried about getting killed. You know, even sitting,
Man,
bro, I be thinking somebody shoot me through the back of the head.
you're not tripping. You're not tripping, man. I'm telling you. 'Cause
And I felt, man,
don't go to any strip clubs. I went to some strip clubs.
I don't go
That was
no.
the worst idea.
Yeah, I don't go nowhere. I don't go nowhere. I don't trust nothing. I don't trust nothing.
Mm.
Because now since they done did that, we're gonna tell everybody how black we really are. We don't trust nothing. We can't. We can barely even breathe. You know what I'm saying? Like most
Black
of the
people
time,
don't trust other black people. I went to the gas station the other day, and I know you. It's very obvious that black people don't even trust other black people. How I'm supposed to get around in the regular world with other people who never liked black people to begin with?
bro, you know when you walk by someone you don't know and you wonder if they'll kill you.
Yes, yes, I know exactly how that is. For no reason. Don't need to be a reason.
We've only
Don't
had
need
to
to be a reason.
deal with this since being like a kid. You know what I'm saying? That to get to this point and then have them terminate me, like how many people I support? Come on now, bro. Come on now.
Man. See, it's that what is that called? That cancel culture. That
Man,
hyper sensitivity
yeah,
because
hypers.
he was dark skinned
They
and
weren't,
you're light skinned.
but they weren't even sensitive because the incident never even occurred. You know what I'm saying? And I swear, normally I would have took that free ride to Parkview. I would have stayed there because my mind was cooking. Like I mean, cooking. Like, and you know me, it's like nah. You know, you you can't do that to me. Hell no. That you can't just do that. The disrespect. Not to mention, it's supposedly federally illegal to do that to someone. And then they tried to pull. He didn't even work for General Motors, bitch. Who's your me to stratosphere and put me in General Motors? And best believe if I'm on your premises, I'm working for you. I'm using your bathroom. We're working on your trucks. You know what I'm saying? Quality inspecting your trucks, all that. They cannot escape through no loophole, bro. They can't. That was a toxic work environment. They did that. Even me going back and trying to having to use my badge and it's deactivated, hell no.
See, they're already fighting a bunch of stuff right now because, well, that's Fort Wayne, right?
Yeah.
So their reputation right now is horrible because they're right by Ohio. Ohio just had an incident where they found a noose in somebody's locker.
I don't even get why people do that stuff. I don't even get it. That's why I'm quiet. There's no try not to get in anybody's way. I try not to bother nobody.
Yeah.
That dude. No, they not just exposed to that toxic work environment, and they think, hey, it's gonna happen. I'm talking to the lawyer as soon as possible. It's hard because I work 50 hours a week. I don't, no matter what loophole they try crawling through, hell no.
Oh, they're gonna find some. You gotta remember, man, you're up against $1 billion company.
How? Look, okay. So imagine if like a motherfucker like smacks you in the face, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're the victim and you have to like sue them in court, but there's all these loopholes for them to get away with what they did. And they're telling you, be a good human, be civil, be a good boy. The court's rigged, but you're gonna lose.
For lack of how's the phrase go? Sometimes it's hard to get justice when you're trying to be civil. That's how the phrase goes.
Yeah.
It's hard to get justice when you try and be civil. Sometimes it's necessary, the violence, for your voice to be heard.
Let's see. Look, though. Here's the thing. When you're violent, they have permission to lock you behind bars. And now your voice is suppressed. It's not like we are viral entities. Since we don't have a lot of online coverage or a lot of followers or whatever, we're unheard of. So they lock you. We got a whole media company we're trying to run. A whole black-owned media company. Come on now.
That's gonna work. It's gonna take off. It's gonna take off.
Man, we deserve everything that is coming to us that is positive. The negatives, none of that. Don't feel bad about nothing. You see what I'm saying? We were dealt a bad hand, period.
Yeah.
Bad hand, but in a way, it's a good hand too, because it ain't nothing like being, African American for real. It ain't nothing like that. It's the brilliance, the magic. The pressure creates diamonds. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, like
The magic where it was magical.
I'm finna try to do my first contract tomorrow with the translating thing. That'll be my first one. And I keep my mind occupied and not go crazy out here because I'm starting to really hate my coworkers.
Are you?
They're a lot of young dudes, and they talk about the same stuff all day. They don't talk about nothing else. Like, what do y'all want to? Y'all want to stay here forever? Y'all kind of like it here? You spend all your money getting high and drunk. You're gonna be here for the rest of your life doing that.
Hey, we got dreams, goals, and ambitions, and that is important. And hopefully, if we can bring these people to justice, none of us will ever have to work for anyone else. We're gonna make our own.
Oh, yeah.
We're gonna
Oh,
remake.
yeah.
We're gonna make a new Black Wall Street.
Oh, we can definitely do that. Especially now is the time to do it. With the economy in the shape it's in, all these different places is willing to gives people some good money now. If you can just convince a bunch of these dudes to get these jobs, stack the money up while you can, because inflation is on its way. Inflation is on its way.
With the new thing I just got, you think I should get people into that?
Mm, it, yes, but as I said before, I don't think it's gonna work.
You don't think so?
Mm,
You think they won't?
it's because of I'm thinking about what have I ever seen that happen before? Have I seen anybody do that before? And yes, it might not be as physically demanding as it could be, but it's dirty, and people aren't going to want to do that.
I don't want to get dirty. Some good money.
Okay, Okay, where you work at now, people come in dressing like it's a fashion show. People get dressed up to go to their job to look cool for people making the same amount of money as them.
They really do that?
Yeah. You ever seen Walmart after dark? Go to West Walmart out west after 10 o'clock at night and look at how the people are dressed in there. Like, like why are they dressed so nice like they go to the club? They just going grocery shopping.
I'ma look. You know something though? I am done with all of the games. I just want to get ducked off. Get some, what's that? Oh yeah, I'll take.
We're gonna get rich. We're gonna get rich. It's too many opportunities. It's too many things that's just sitting right there.
Yeah, we have to. Listen, I'm gonna get that lawyer because that I'm telling you that company. Oh my bad. So my brother just joined that Snapchat. That company, they know they did that. Like they know they did that. I know they did that. Everybody knows they did that. You get what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
like
It
you haven't contacted them at all since then, right?
since when
Since the incident.
that originally happened,
Yeah.
I reported it to their HR, and
And
they
that
asked
was it.
me the human. They fired me. They got me fired.
So the fact that the police contacted you and said they could send you medical, that means they know
Yeah,
something.
they knew they knew that someone was upset, and they contacted the police. So that means they're sitting there knowing they did wrong already by default, and now
Yeah,
they're instead of just rectifying it, they're getting police involved. Come on now.
because they worry. They worry. That's a real lawsuit. They didn't send the police to arrest you. They sent you to go to Parkview
Oh,
for mental trauma. They know they know what it is.
if this would have happened last week, I would have went straight there because my brain was thumping for real on some shit. It took everything in my power to control that. Everything. Like, I mean, it took every piece of me.
Like it's coming together.
And I
All of this
that
is
way for like 4 straight months.
like matter of fact, you should mark this down in a calendar or something on a piece of paper. On this day, they called.
Mm-hmm.
The Fort Wayne Police Department called me talking about this because of what happened at the job. Mark everything down. Keep everything recorded.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, how it gonna be? Because they're trying to like bleed me out. They want like a statute of limitations to occur or something, but nah, you can't put a limit on something that blatant. Hell no.
Yeah,
Supersede everything. It has to be that way because without our civil rights, you're basically telling us we're not human, which means
yeah.
we're like animal. And don't ever let them get around that. Like if you ever get discriminated against because you're colorful, no. If humans in the USA are given civil rights, if we're not given that, we can't be American. We cannot be considered as human. I'm a beast. And what do beasts do? They eat.
Exactly.
And I'm gonna get the free veteran legal counsel. I hope they take it serious. I've hit up the other lawyers. Other lawyers won't even respond, bro. They won't even respond because, like that detective
They
said,
all know each other.
they yeah, and because if you're pale like this, apparently you automatically lose the case. Hell no. That now they're robbing me of being an African American.
I'm telling you. The- Hey,
Black card
didn't
take.
you get like a phone call about being on Dr. Phil one time?
I don't think Dr. Phil actually contacted me. I think that was something else. But we definitely could go on Dr. Phil for this. We'll invite the whole crew, everybody.
This is a hell of a story.
Why can't they just admit what they did wrong is what I'm trying to figure out. They could settle outside of court for way less than 300 million. Because if this had to go to court, it had to go to a trial.
They can't deny anything.
Based on the severity of the emotional disturbance, the brush-ins with law enforcement, we could get killed by the cops.
Yeah.
We're lucky to tell the truth. I'm lucky the police were even reasonable and decided to remote contact me instead of try to establish contact in person.
Yeah. You know how trigger happy they can be.
And just that.
They putting your life in danger all over an incident
Where
that could have been handled.
Yeah, look, they wonder why we get thugged out, rough, violent, all that shit. When were we ever allowed to be the victim?
Man.
When were you ever allowed to be a victim?
Never. Wow. Damn, that's a hell of a question. Damn.
Come on now.
That's a hell of a question.
We're not
we're super predators, according to Hillary Clinton.
Bro.
It's crazy.
We need to get all our people out the streets. All of them.
Hell yeah.
And we're going to start. Because I swear, mark my words, if this goes to a trial, bro, and I really have to go through the torment that long, my life is in danger. Like, I gotta go to sleep and wake up every day not knowing what can happen after this. $300 million. They're a big company. They can afford it.
That's pocket change. Pocket change. Ain't was it like every second they not working, or like every minute they losing like $2 million?
I don't know. But I did a damn good job when I worked there. Nothing was wrong with my work ethic. Nothing.
Regular worker getting your job done, and a random person comes and makes some ridiculous accusations. You lose your job.
Look,
Now you got to deal with legal problems.
Fired as racist white man. Arrested for burglary. Burglary. I ain't like that. Come on now. As a black man. And now I'm an angry black man.
Make it make sense.
I know. It's like, how it's the ridiculousness. It's like, that shouldn't even be allowed to go on.
It's Indiana. It's Indiana. You got Auburn right there. They still handing out flyers for the Ku Klux Klan. I know you remember when that hit the news. I know you remember that.
Dude, the KKK is a joke, man. I wish stuff like that would just cease to exist. I just wish it would cease to exist. Like, okay. The truth is that as a country, right, we unify somehow. We can't have people making up racist allegations, and we can't have people like make new racism happen. You know?
That is true.
Either or. It has to stop. Because if it doesn't, it's just gonna crumble and decay. It's just gonna crumble and decay. And then, like, okay, so I thought about this the other night. I was skizzing with the schizophrenia, you know?
Mhm.
Thought like, what if we crumble and something bad happens, like China nukes us or something? Like,
Yeah, I've been thinking about that type of stuff because it does look like if you watch the news every day,
yeah,
you look at the job market and how everything's going, it does look like American society is failing.
it it appears that way in media, but in reality, is I don't know. But what we don't
Yeah.
want to manifest a negative future, because if the future is negative, we're the ones who have to live in it. So when that bad day comes, when we lose, we have to live with the consequences, and it becomes survival of the fittest, or we get hit with a bomb. If you get hit with a bomb, it's over. It's just they can push a button and delete you. What do you think that feels like if all of a sudden the room exploded and things were like, uh, we don't want none of that. We want peace. We don't want
That
any.
is a terrible thought.
That's all we want is peace from day one. The whole quest was to get peace. The
Yeah.
whole quest was to obtain peace. And now I can't have peace of mind. I don't know if I'm gonna get. I don't know if I'm gonna get framed. I don't know if I'm gonna get. You know.
I I can see I can kind of see too much stuff happening based on what's been happening recently. Random people just getting pulled over and beaten by the cops, framed. They just fired a cop for framing 15 people in Chicago.
Man, they need to motherfucking arrest one of these motherfuckers for framing somebody for being racist. Whoever did that shit. Fucking, we're getting at all angles.
Yeah.
Look,
Yeah, it's that hypersensitivity.
sound like I heard police sirens.
That's definitely police sirens.
I think, you know, look, if anything bad happens, just know that we tried everything we could do. So, like, shit.
Yeah, that is true.
To get out this struggle. Everything. We tried everything to get out of this struggle. Everything. And this General Motors shit is the last straw. We need 300 million. And by tomorrow, we're going to need 500 million. Because if, now you know me, you know I'm paranoid, but I'm not scared. Those aren't the same things.
Yeah.
So when I'm civil, that is my self control. You see what I'm
Mhm.
saying? That don't mean I'm not over here cooking, you know?
Yeah.
I could have a stroke, bro. Like the other day, like everything slowed down for a minute and my heart hurt. Sometimes I'm so mad I can't even breathe. Like I'm holding my breath or something and I gotta like force myself to breathe. This this shit ain't no I'm making sure I have the most well documented, the most well documented uh emotional disturbance that they've ever seen in a courtroom.
It needs to. Everything needs to be documented. Every single thing needs to be documented.
Yeah.
Every phone call that they give you, hey, we're sorry, we didn't mean it. That
And you think it's weird for them to see like an African American who looks like this?
no,
You don't think so?
no. From what I've been noticing throughout the last few years, there's a lot of places like there's a lot of interracial relationships, a lot of it's normal at this point. Nothing should be surprising at this point.
So they need to acknowledge they made a mistake. Like they can't even acknowledge. Look. They can't even acknowledge they made a mistake. We would work on the trucks, and I would see the price tags on the trucks, bro. One truck minimum is like $43,000. and they have thousands, tens of thousands of trucks. And you're telling me they couldn't even get, because when it first happened, I was thinking, man, maybe if they just gave me the value of one truck so I could feel proud of myself, or
Yeah.
I'm saying just get right, just get right,
Yeah.
But I had to sit there and cook inside my brain for months. Hell no, it ain't no. And I deal with no lawyers taking the case, like so I can't even.
I'm telling you, they all know each other. They all know each other. They're contacting each other. This is how they do. Hey, look,
So we
I
can.
got 10 million for you to not talk to this guy.
I'll tell you what. We need to contact the Civil Justice Department. That's what we need to do. I'll call. You can call. We can just keep getting people to call, cause something got to give. If this free lawyer thing don't go through, cause I
Yeah.
don't want no games, none. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
None. I don't know how anybody else ever proved any of anything, but I even have audio proof this happened. Video recording, man. Come on now.
See, this is where their money comes into play. See, they're not just throwing their money into the courtroom; they're throwing it around the courtroom, outside of the courtroom. They're talking to judges. They're talking to
With
prosecutors, lawyers. They're talking to everybody.
with every single penalty possible, because this what okay, so if a man can't get his justice in the courtroom, what does a real man think about? What's
Yeah,
to think about every day where we're from? The beast.
man.
See what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And now it's like, okay, so you just made me confront the beast in my mental. We're trying to get away from all that. Now I
Exactly.
confront the beast in my head. Come on now. I got to negotiate do diplomacy with the beast. I got to control that.
Like, is this going to work out? This is not going to work out.
It has to.
Maybe it's going to work out.
They really did it. If they get off with this, bro, that's nuts. But I don't ever want to be confused. They can play this inside a courtroom. It should not be my obligation to grapple with the beast that's inside my head because y'all violated my rights. And then law enforcement is complicit to a corrupt social environment to where I can't even get a lawyer because of my skin tone. That's colorism.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Wow,
Look,
that is nuts. Man, that is nuts.
look, I'm get off here, but look, be safe and shit, lay low. I'm gonna figure out how to. Worst case scenario, I'm gonna just have to work that job every day, every single day. I'm gonna write my books when I can, and we'll
That's,
get.
that's another thing about that job. It seems a little like
Hey,
pays good. It probably takes your whole day.
I don't care. So it's what the goal of the liberation of the chains that bind us is bigger than you know the work I have to put in. We need to be liberated. We can't just be miserable our whole lives, bro. We inherited misery. Nah, it, I'm not going for that. If I gotta work my way out of it, that's what it got to be. You know, I'm put this on record as an African American man. I'm willing to do anything to escape the monsters that we inherited. So that's all I'm saying. Everything should be magical. We should be having good times. We shouldn't be in a civilized country. We should not be the way we had to live. Hell no, never
Mhm.
even be a thing. You know,
We're the only first world country with third world poverty.
third world fucking violence.
Yeah.
I'd be paranoid all the time. I don't trust shit.
Who you tell?
You already.
I live downtown. I lived downtown for a while.
Yeah.
I told you that story when I was leaving the bar, ran into a guy. He was just a bar buddy. Don't really know his name, but we always chop it up every time I see him. He's
Yeah.
sitting there talking on the bridge on Main Street. Three cops come up, AR-15s, big ass guns, big ass guns. Let us get on the ground. I'm like, hold on, wait. Like, you have a gun. I'm like, man, they finna kill us. Man. Like, no. All right. And then they just go away. I'm like, what was that? I'm like, hold on, I don't even feel comfortable walking to the crib now. I go back to the bar.
That's why we
I,
remote. Got anything to do with anything. Nothing. We have nothing to do with anything. Leave us alone. You know?
I just want to go home.
I just want to play the Nintendo. That's it. If there was ever a master plan to anything I was doing, it was to get home and play the video game. So that's it. So,
Mm,
but no, look, I'm gonna hit you up in a second.
yeah.
I'd get off of here.
All right, player.
All right.